And today we're going to have a look at Stadia, which I recently got as a freebie because I chose to play Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia, as it seems to be the best way to get hold of it, and also the cheapest because I got it for £10 off. So let's get this box open. So the first thing I've come across is the controller itself, and then underneath we've got the power adapter, and I believe right at the bottom we've got the Chromecast. So that's the power adapter there, and there's the Chromecast with a little Ethernet adapter, which also doubles up as a power supply. Okay, after a brief setup, which you had to do with an Android app, as you can see, got a blinking white light, so this controller's updated and connected to Wi-Fi. Pretty simple. And here we go, booted into Cyberpunk via Google Chrome with my Stadia controller hooked up to a laptop that is nowhere near the right spec to run this game. And there it goes.
Well, we're about a week later and about 28 hours of gameplay into Cyberpunk 2077. And I think the fact that I've managed to get 28 hours into the game on Stadia just goes to show how good the experience has been. Now, bear in mind this is an Intel CPU kind of HD graphics laptop, so in gaming terms it's pretty weak. I mean, it struggles to run EVE Online at anywhere at a decent playable rate. I mean, you can do it. It also struggles to run any game that's sort of DirectX 10 onwards. I mean, it's doable, but it's not brilliant. Now, this is a top-end PC game engine that really needs a high-end CPU and a 3090 if you want to do ray tracing and everything. And I've actually got a plugin in Chrome that in theory forces this into high quality 4K mode. Whether it's worked or not, I'm not 100% sure. I think it does work because the game looks pretty good. Now, the video footage is actually running and being recorded at 1080p, so Google thinks it's streaming to a 4K machine, but it's then actually displaying at 1080p if I've got my calculations right. And as you can see, the game runs pretty smooth. The frame rate is pretty consistent. It does get a little bit jaggy here and now. Now, this is the infamous Skippy location that I'm going to, and there's some really great voiceover, but unfortunately when I hooked up my capture device, I had the audio routed via the USB socket for my headphones, not via the HDMI socket, so there is no audio, which is good in some ways because it cuts out some of the copyrighted music that was playing in the car and avoids any potential issues with any other stuff that might pop up during the video. But yeah, unfortunately means you don't get to hear this really brilliant piece of acting here. And being able to discover stuff like this 28 hours into the game is fantastic. And yeah, I think my experience has been pretty good. I'm on version 105. 106 doesn't seem to have been rolled out to Stadia as of the time I'm loading up my game save here. And yeah, the game runs pretty good. Now, I have had a few problems. I think I've had one or possibly two crash to desktops, one of which I think was due to Google going offline. So I think I've only actually had one crash to desktop caused by a game glitch, which kicked me out of Stadia, and I was able to log straight back in and continue. I've had two or three kind of loss of control due to Wi-Fi network glitching, and that's the other thing. I'm playing this over Wi-Fi, which is pretty impressive when you look at the quality of the game footage I'm capturing here. And I've got to say, on PC, obviously Stadia works great. It'd be interesting to see if you can get Stadia working on old gen consoles, because Cyberpunk runs like a dog, it seems, on Xbox One and PS4 right now. But with Stadia, obviously you could run a PC build of the game to your console, and that'd be an interesting thing to investigate. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As I say, 28 hours in. I haven't actually really used the Stadia controller. I'm actually using the mouse and keyboard for this playthrough. On my second playthrough, I will probably consider trying out the Stadia controller, which I believe just works direct via the Wi-Fi from what I can tell. But yeah, the game's working great, Stadia's working great. Now, it is a shame that CD Projekt Red's been attacked for this. Effectively, this is Juice X GTA. If you view it as a sort of looter-shooter set in the in the Cyberpunk setting, then I think you're going to be pretty happy with the game. And if you get it at a decent price and you put enough hours into it, the price per hour is going to be worth it. But compared to what they sold us, yes, it is a little bit disappointing. But I think some of the criticism's been a little bit unfair, and I'm hoping the game will be patched to get rid of the bugs, patched to improve performance, and also hopefully a load of free DLC to add in some of the stuff we were expecting but lost out on. And I think this little extra, which is pretty hard to come by, really justifies playing the game. Really, there's lots of little bits like this that just make you go, wow, I'm really enjoying this game. And Stadia, I think, currently is probably the best way to play it, because who has got a powerful enough PC to do the game justice right now? Hardly anyone, particularly if you are trying to grab one of the new GPUs that just seem to be sold out and massively expensive. Anyway, that's a quick look at Stadia and Cyberpunk. Hope you've enjoyed this quick look. See you in the next one.